Okay. Wow. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, hello. Hello. Hello, everyone. So, this is the final launch. This is the final launch of a space shuttle. This is Space Shuttle Endeavour. Endeavor, this is coming to you live out of Los Angeles, California, at the California Science Center. And this is the very final time that a space shuttle will have liftoff of a space shuttle. This is the final time of a space shuttle liftoff. You guys can see that here right now. We are live for the last launch. So we can see that it's coming up right now. So, okay. It's orange. So that is where they are going to be lifting this space shuttle up. Hello, Better Tomorrow. How are you? How are you? How are you? So they are lifting this up. That wing is narrowly close here on the right side. It is narrowly close. Ruthie, thank you for the shares. Thank you, thank you. This is the last launch of a space shuttle here. So this is where that ET tank is, that external fuel tank. This is live, mind you. They're going to be lifting Endeavour up over the wall. Hopefully it doesn't fall. So hopefully here we don't have any issues as they lift it and attach it to the external fuel tanks. Glad, thank you to follow on TikTok there. Thank you, thank you. Much appreciated there, guys. You guys, I did confirm you guys are watching this here. They got a helicopter ahead that is watching this happen and unfold as well. Look at this. This is absolutely beautiful here. Preacher, what's up, Preacher? Daniel, what's up? How you guys doing in the YouTube chat? How you guys doing in the YouTube chat there? I'm good. How are you doing? Sorry, my Wi-Fi was giving me issues. It's our line had a major outage today. They're a tier 1 carrier. They, as you see, they basically supply the inner fiber, the outer fiber for most ISPs. So don't feel bad. I own my own ISP, and we've all had issues today, so don't feel bad. What are we watching? This is the final liftoff of a space shuttle. This is Space Shuttle Endeavour. They're going to be attaching it to external fuel tank and boosters at the California Science Center in Los Angeles. This is the last time a space shuttle will ever lift off of the ground. This is the last time ever. Texas Mopar, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? How you guys doing? Hit that subscribe button on YouTube and a follow on TikTok. Again, we guys, so internet's a little sketchy out there in Los Angeles, but they are guiding this up right now. You guys can see here as it's trying to come back into the live view. It is off the ground. It's officially off of the ground, guys. It's motivation. What is up? This is so the shuttle was retired in the late or like early 2010s. It was retired, but this is Endeavour, and Endeavour. This is the last time a space shuttle will be off of the ground. They're going to actually be having a full display of it on the external fuel tanks and the solid rocket boosters. So this is what you guys are looking at right now. It's a little laggy there. They're probably on cell phones beaming this back in. Hello, hello. It's not a liftoff. It retired in 2011. So it was 2011 Endeavour was retired, was 2011. And the thing that you need to understand is that Endeavour was the last nighttime launch for a space shuttle, which is why they were doing this at nighttime around the same time that it did lift off from Kennedy Space Center back in 2011. So this is the last official liftoff of a space shuttle. All the others are staying on the ground. That is it. That's it. And this is the only one that will actually be in what they call a launch ready position. It's going to be up on boosters, and it's going to look like it's ready to go launch. So this is what we have here. So again, we're not 100% sure how long this is. Is this Florida? Is this what? No, this is Los Angeles. So that is Endeavour. That is tucked away nicely in behind. Hello, Minnie. Hello, hello. Tucked away nicely behind that vinyl tarp. So what this is happening is we got drone footage here. This is by NASA space flight. They have a drone up over there that they are using, and it's fully off the ground right now. They actually have to get it up above that wall, and they're gonna move it over. So they're gonna lift it up, and then they're gonna move it across the wall, and then they're actually gonna mate it to that external fuel tank. That big orange tank a lot of people are familiar with space shuttle. With the space shuttle was the big orange external fuel tank, and then the two solid rocket fuel boosters, the SRBs, one on each side, with the shuttle smack dab in the middle of all of it. That is what people are used to seeing and knowing of the space shuttle, and that's what's going to be in Los Angeles. This is the final display position, as Pavel has said. This is going to be the only time that a space shuttle is not on the ground any longer. So it's very historical. Now, next time it will be on the ground is if it falls. But, you know, hopefully they took precautions with the earthquakes in Los Angeles, and we don't have to see a relifting of a damaged space shuttle in the near future. So, lots of stuff coming in here. Those are the SRBs on each side, and that big orange external fuel tank, that is the ET tank. Everyone is very familiar. Well, you do know that I think it was Russia that has basically a mere copy of the space shuttle, shockingly. Pretty sure it's Russia, but there we go, guys. We can see that external fuel tank on the right side of your screen there with the dual SRBs. And the space shuttle is about to come up from the crane. That crane is really leaning. If you take a look, that crane is really leaning. And it's going to lift up, and it's going to move over to the right-hand side, guys. That's what we are going to witness here. So did they just stop space exploration, or did they just... Well, they're trying to go for deep space. So the shuttle was originally designed to help make the International Space Station. The International Space Station, it's nearing its end of life. Probably by 2034, 2035, we may see the space shuttle actually break apart and deorbit into tiny pieces of metal into the atmosphere. Our goal is, Artemis a crutch mission, I'd like to call. We don't need to go back to the moon, but they do want to get a woman and an African American to the moon, so that's what Artemis 2 is going to be. I'm sorry, Artemis 3. I don't think Artemis 2 is going to land on the moon. I think Artemis 2 is the where it circles the moon and then it bounces back. Artemis 3, I believe, is the one where they're actually going to land on it. With the Orion, like Orion is the capsule, and then Artemis is the mission. But then they're trying to get to Mars. Going to Mars is the ideal factor out of everything. They want to get to Mars. And that's where Starship with Elon Musk is going to come into play. It's a giant space cargo ship that can actually build habitats out on Mars. For those who don't know, there's actually a team of astronauts that's locked away in a building for several years right now, practicing on what it would be like to live on Mars with like no communication, no outside help, and no nothing. Again, this is coming to you live from NASA space flight out in California. This is in Los Angeles at the California Science Center, and what you are witnessing is Space Shuttle Endeavour here, coming on over. This is history here. This is the final stacking of Endeavour, as Pavel said. Yes, it's the final stacking. The final stacking, the final time a shuttle is off of the ground. They're not flying them no more. They're definitely not taking them to space no more. Oh, Carter. So, this here, they're going to get it in the upright position, and they're going to make that treacherous turn to the right of your screen and begin the stacking process here. It's a very slow and time-consuming process. A sneaker, it is. This is the very last liftoff of a space shuttle. This is Endeavour. Again, you guys can see the stacking process right now as this will begin to come up and get over the wall. Yes, the Mars environment. Yes, better tomorrow. There's a physician there. There's a doctor, a physician. There's several different types. I think it's 6 people. It's around 6 people. What's up, Sneaker? So it's the first. Look at the drone over on the left, SRB. So this is the last time the shuttle will be off of the ground. Now I have seen Enterprise. Is it Enterprise? No, I've seen Discovery. Discovery, I believe, is at the Edward Hazy Museum, National Air and Space Museum at Dulles International Airport in Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. I've been there many, many, many times. They got the SR-71 Blackbird. They got, I believe it's Discovery. I could be wrong. I do know Enterprise is in New York. I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen that. Pavel goes, for those that don't know, stacking is a prep step that happens in the vehicle assembly building at Kennedy Space Center for all shuttles prior to launch. They get mated to the external tank and the solid rocket booster before a rollout. Yes, and that is where that giant... Oh, no, we are not playing this song. Oh, heck to the no. We are not playing that song. That is a Weird Al Yankovic song, and I am not about to get eaten from TikTok for being politically incorrect. No, thank you. What's up, Thomas? So, this is what we have happening right now. Is we got that process. They're still lifting it up. You guys, pay attention to that girder on the left. You can actually see it's moving. They're lifting it up here. It's lifting up. Edwin. So these land on a runway, right? Like a plane, or no, you're right, Carter. They did. Yes, they would. They had. So there was about 70 to 80 runways that could land at. They did land in a desert one time. They could land at Edwards Air Force Base, Dover Air Force Base. There was quite a few. I think Pittsburgh International they could land at. Basically, anything that was 7,000 feet or longer, they could have landed at, and they had bases all over the world that they could land a shuttle at. And filled with 3 tons of toxic hydrazine. Really? Maintenance for Discovery. That's awesome, Mini Dingo. They even had some, I think, out in Australia. They had some in South America, in portions of Africa, out near the Cape. Oh, last shuttle launch. Was it 2011? It was between 2011 and 2014. This one was 2011. This was the last time this space shuttle had launched and went up was 2011. So it was 8 years after the Columbia disaster. It was 8 years after the Columbia disaster. Hello, Edwin. That's weird. It shouldn't be loud for you guys. It should not be loud. Let me take a look at something here and see if I can turn it down. See, TikTok's doing that weird thing with the audio. TikTok does that weird thing with the audio to where it's like doesn't even look like it's playing the music. Oh, Atlantis. So it was 2011. Atlantis, 2011. Well, Challenger was the 28th. So Challenger was the 28th, I think it was. I think it was the 28th. I think the 26th was Apollo. Or the 27th was Apollo 1. And then February 1st is Columbia. Yeah, the whole Challenger, the whole Columbia. Well, so Better Tomorrow, launch liftoff is a synonym used in the media for this event here. See, you can see right behind the NSF there, it says final liftoff of Endeavour is underway. So liftoff launch is a synonym because they don't fly no more, but this is the only time a space shuttle will be lifted off the ground again, and the only one around where they have a full setup. They have a full external fuel tank there, which is that orange thing you see in the full SRBs on each side. Yeah, the 28th. Yeah, the 28th was 51L, which was Challenger. Columbia 131, I want to say. I think it was 131. STS 131, which was Columbia. Columbia broke apart over Texas and Louisiana February 1st, 2003, if I recall. What happened with Columbia is part of that orange tank is actually made of foam to help with the shock and absorption. And what happened was a piece of that foam, it's kind of hard, broke off and hit that undersurface of the space shuttle wing. And it had a giant hole. It was about 1.5 foot hole. And at that time, they didn't think it was going to be that major. The Department of Defense failed NASA. They wouldn't let them use the satellites because the payload was going to be super secret that was on 131. And so they kind of knew that there was no saving them. There was no recovery vessel at that time that could go up and launch. According to NASA, a lot of people were skeptic about it. And whenever they lost the comms check on the way back down, and they had scattered debris on C-band, which is a type of microwave radar. And when they saw scattered debris on C-band, that C-band picked up basically hundreds of pieces of metal, and they knew right there and then that Columbia had broken apart over Texas and Louisiana upon yeah, and as Pavel said, that's the infamous GC flight lock the doors. No phone calls in or out. Everyone, all your consoles here, you don't touch. You print out everything that was on the screen, anything on data, you print it out. You give her a testimony. Because a lot of people don't realize, but NASA actually prepares a speech for every flight that goes up that if they were to die, involves songs to play. If they were to perish on the way up, they or coming back, they had a speech prepared the president of the United States would deliver to the public. There was one for Apollo. They always have these speeches pre-planned because it's so dangerous. Back in the old days with Mercury, I think it was Mercury. We were just talking about it. Those fuckers, they would strap themselves to an ICBM, an intercontinental ballistic missile, and shoot themselves up into space, and that's how early astronauts did it. It was like astronaut farmer or whatever that movie was. Strap yourself to an ICBM and go up. That is big. Yes, there's the shuttle. There's shuttle Endeavour. Fate has ordained that the men who went to the moon to explore in peace will stay on the moon to rest in peace. Yes, that is part of the speech there, Pavel. That was part of the original speech there, that if they were to have Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, just saying, whether you believe we went to the moon, I'm just saying, that if they were not able to take off in the lunar lander and mate back up with, not Gemini. The capsule that was floating above. Because Eagle was the lunar lander, and there was crap, I forget what it was. But if they weren't able to get up, obviously they're not going to shoot up in space and go away. That's not how space works. They went up, and then they would have retrograded back in and crashed on the moon. The CSM, it had a name. The CSM had a name. What the hell? The CSM. Let me see here. The heat shield was made of phenolic formaldehyde resin? Formaldehyde? That heats up? What the hell? It was Columbia. I didn't think it was Columbia. Let me see here. I didn't think the name was Columbia. Oh, Odyssey Aquarius. I was thinking of Apollo 13 with Odyssey. I'm sorry, yeah. I wasn't thinking that. Columbia. So you were right, Columbia. It's weird that they reuse a name. That's why I'm shocked they reused a name. Something that was so special turned into something that was so, but they also reused Endeavour as well. Endeavour was one, and then Orion. So the lunar lander, the lunar module for Apollo 16 was Orion, and 17 was Challenger. It's kind of weird that they reused the names. It went down in history, though, right? So, guys, as you can see here, they are preparing to take this up and over, and this is the most treacherous part. We may see a space shuttle fall off of its hinges here soon, guys. We may see it fall off of its hinges. We hope not, but here she goes up. She's starting to climb up, guys. Look at the shadows moving. It's definitely going on up. It was worth of its name. Preacher, you still in here, buddy? Is our friend Preacher, you still in here? DN, I am acoustic. I am very acoustic! Have a good night! I'm very acoustic. We'll provide the effects. Whoosh! Whoosh! I can just picture it falling off and just... I would. I totally would. What type of headphone jigma? What are you doing with your headphone? That definitely does not belong that way. Holy hell. My brain cells. So, they are going up and they are looking at something. So... they are going up and they are looking at something. Hopefully this thing isn't actually fall, but they see something. They are looking at this. They see something, guys. Butt Nugget. That is a hell of a name, Butt Nugget. This is Space Shuttle Endeavour being lifted into its final launch position. They see something. They're looking. They see something. It's an OSHA violation. They see something, I think. I don't know. They are really looking at this. I would not want to be that close. TBH, I would not want to be that close, because if this thing pops off of its rivets, of its joist there, God only knows which way that thing is going to go. I really do not... I would not want to be there. Underneath of that thing. I'll be off on the side. I'll fly a drone, but I don't know. Something tells me that they see something and it's of concern to them. To see that drone up again. Okay, they're going up, so something I believe could be amiss. He's definitely looking. I'm watching the guy on the right. This is it, Los Angeles, California, at the California Science Center. This is live. We may have an issue going on. I'm not 100% sure, but we may have some sort of issue with this. Can see them doing something. They're trying to disconnect something. So they're trying to disconnect something? Not quite sure what it is, but I see a lot of pinch points here. Shuttle falls off crane. All construction workers proceeds to the FCOH contingency plan procedure. FCOH checks page 4.8 to 5. Why would you want? Why are they looking on both sides? Right? They're disconnecting something. I heard on the IFB that they're supposedly discontesting. Hey guys, I made up a new word, discontesting. Why are they disconnecting this? What? Okay, so they're pulling off part of the frame used to hold and support this giant space shuttle. They're just pulling away parts of it in mid-air. Something I feel that they could maybe done after it was already secured to the base. Yeah, Riddler, I'm shocked that they're doing it now in mid-air instead of after it's already been secured. It reminds me of STS-51L launch attempt number 1 where the door handle tool got stuck and scrubbed the launch. Oh my god. We continue to lose shit in space. We have lost a handful of tolls over the past 5 years during EVAs at the space station. This just screams OSHA pinch point. You know, have you guys ever seen the video of Walking with Danger, or Handshake with Danger? Immediately begin to think of this, like Walking with Danger, you know, as we hear zombie. Shake hands with danger. That's what it's called. Shake hands with danger. So this is one of the last photos of actually the two space shuttles together here. It's one of the last photos at the VAB, the Vehicle Assembly Building. RIP to the $3,000 wrench. Yeah, and that's why they now have a 3D printer. I am curious how they are going to get. So, if you guys don't know, in 2026, between 2026 and 2028, they're adding another module to the degrading International Space Station. They are actually adding an entire commercial assembly module. I think it's called the CAM, the CAM. It's actually going to mate to the International Space Station. And my intention, like my understanding, is that they're going to be renting out part of the space station is like an Airbnb for billionaires and millionaires to take a commercial ride up to the International Space Station, and after they basically decommission the International Space Station, it could be given like sold to a company to maintain it themselves. Space Detroit, the ISS Space Detroit. There you go. So it's kind of interesting that they're planning on doing that, if you ask me. Endeavour is now vertical, and the crew is now disconnect. So they officially have disconnected this piece of metal. So they've disconnected this piece of metal here. I don't know. I just see like a lot of OSHA violations in this feed. I see a ton. Motivation, thank you. Better Tomorrow, thank you. I just saw those gifts now. So I don't know fully what their plan is for this. If they're gonna keep it up on a crane, or are they actually going to you know, I'm not 110% sure what their plans are here. I don't know if they're gonna leave it on a crane. I don't know if they're going to attach it, because I see a lot of scaffolding. I see a ton of scaffolding, so that makes me question this, you know. I don't even see any major attachment points on that ET. This is what happens when you don't have techs from the United Space Alliance, each with 20 years of experience preparing. You know, it's like they got this and they were not told what to do with it. They're like, oh, cool, we got a space shuttle. And then they're like, how do we actually make this be? Because it was nothing like this with NASA. There's a lot of like guys sitting over here, looks like, with a thumb up their ass, and doesn't look like they know quite what they're doing. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't know. You know, this crane doesn't even look like it's made to do what it's doing in any way. I'm gonna be, you know, and then this is the other thing is, you see this wall. Why in the hell did they build this wall up? Would it have not been easier to build the wall up after it's already been fully done? I mean, that's one. Two, I don't get it. I hope SpaceX and I hope Blue Origin and I hope UOA is watching this, and that they don't hire these people, because this seems to be a major cluster bomb right now going off. That yellow carrier around the payload is an original hoist carrier. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, they probably had that from the original VAB, because it's that long, elongated, you can see that. I mean, Kerbal Space Program also really showed it. But my point in this is, why did they build up this wall? Would it not have been way easier to do this without the wall, that they have to lift this thing so high up, come over? Because mind you, you make the most mistakes when it's high up off the ground. Is that the launch bunker? No, Lyle, this is actually over in Los Angeles. This is at the California Science Center. In my honest opinion, I truly am in the belief that... Oh, yeah. I truly don't know. Is this actually going to work or not? I mean, these guys here, it looks like they're just... Look, they're like looking down like, what do we do next, boss? you know? And like, if you look, they're gonna have to pull, they're gonna have to drop the crane, hoist it up just to get it over. Like, I don't see this. I don't see how this is actually going to take shape. I really don't, because it's in line with it. You're gonna have to get it over, and then you're gonna have to swing it. I don't know. It's not like there's a vertical that they could go horizontal. I don't see this happening. Glad cling wrap for the win. Better tomorrow goes, they're just hanging out seeing if it's going to fall. I don't see how this is actually going to make it over that wall. I will be very surprised if this thing actually makes it over that wall. Gina's in the house. Gina's in the house. Thank you for the share. In my engineering mind, I'm like, I don't see this damn thing happening. Oh, she's flying right now, Lyle. She's about to fly into the ground, I'd say. It's not. I don't see this thing actually making it over the wall. I'm doing fairly well. I'm not doing too bad. I'm doing fairly well. Fairly well. I don't know, guys. I truly don't fully know with this. I don't see this happening. Preacher's back in. So this is Endeavour. It's a retired space shuttle from 2011. It's the last space shuttle to go get mounted. It's actually going to be mounted at the California Science Center in Los Angeles, California. And it's going to look mission ready, launch ready. So this is the last time space shuttle is going to be up and off of the ground here. Post-recovery safe, right? They probably disconnected the engine wires anyways, just so that way, I mean, there's no propellant, but just so that way there's zero chance of anything happening, you know? Me patiently waiting for the shuttle to slowly tip over. Right? Right, Eddie? Right? Right? Eddie, I don't see how this thing's gonna actually go. So it's in line. So it's in line here, and they're gonna have to somehow come down far enough, lift it up over this wall. The issue is, how are they gonna get it over? They're gonna, like, if you're looking at this, I don't see how this thing's gonna actually go, because it's just, I don't get it. Why would you build a wall around where you're going to be mounting this thing? Why would you build a wall? It makes zero sense. They removed half of the crane. And the thing is, Pavel, the thing is, the way that they did this, there's nothing inside. So, Pavel, there's nothing inside of the SRBs. There's nothing inside of the ET tank. The ET tank is, they cut it all away. And the SRBs, there's nothing in. And they just have basically the bottom of the SRBs in the cement, and they're gonna they bolted on the SRBs right where the Challenger, right there at 51L, where that leak occurred. There's no structural integrity to this thing, and that's why I said whenever if California gets another earthquake, I think we're going to be redoing this live stream of them reassembling this fallen space shuttle. So the cryo components along with the ME assemblies are probably pulled from the display. Yeah, it's hollow. If you look at the photos online, it's completely hollow. I don't see how it's actually going to support this thing. And mind you, I want to make it clear that the space shuttle, like everything to launch to date, had some sort of support structure, you know? We had the bridge come out to the space shuttle. We had the nose tip cone. We don't have that for this. Yeah, the aft fill joint. That's exactly where it is, and they have it cemented at the bottom. But I didn't, like, when they were doing this, I didn't see any, like, steel girders or anything, like, going up to try to, like, give this thing some support. I really think that this was kind of rushed, you know? Does it remind you of anything? Rushed to launch? I feel like this thing was kind of rushed. Here, guys, how is this going to get over? How's this thing going to get up and over that wall and attached? I don't see that really happening. They're going to have to drop the crane forward while coming up on it to get it up and over far enough away and then come back in. I don't see how this thing is really going to go. Jenga Space Shuttle Endeavour Edition, Ocean Gate Space Edition. You know, I really am not seeing this whatsoever. Thank you, Gina. I really am not seeing this. Don't worry, Austin. This is, quote, in family. Truly yours, NASA. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Bragg. Okay, guys, so the company doing this, their name is Bragg. Their name is Bragg. Are they gonna be bragging whenever it tips over and falls? What's up, Hydrant Humper? What is up? How are you, buddy? How you doing, buddy? They're safe. They have hard hats on. Yes, the hard hats. Yes. If it falls, they're good. I don't know, guys. I'm getting bad vibes with this. Not bad, man. Relaxing. Where is this located? They are doing this in Los Angeles. This is live. This is out at the California Science Center. Candace goes, yeah, Candies goes, yeah, I'm curious as well. You know, that's my thing. I don't know. My biggest thing, why put a wall up in front of where you're going to be moving this thing? Why would you put a wall up? Now they gotta go how much more higher for no reason? Bragg is a heavy lift company, not construction or general service. That's scary. Oh, goodness gracious. Callie, yes. There's Endeavour before it falls. That's before it falls. I don't know. They also said that Endeavour was created from, quote, spare part after 51L, but that's not true. I would never fly Endeavour if that was the case. A flying brick. Oh, look at the chick here. Look at the chick. Her hard hat is barely even on her head. She's just like, ah. Oh my god. Oh my god. I want to know why we're at a hold pattern here, you know? It's like we get down to the T-minus 14 minutes and then the flight director comes on. Okay, we've now entered a 60-minute hold. We're now at a 60-minute hold. All consoles stand by. Because right now we're at a flight pattern hold right now. As this thing, they try to figure what they need to do to actually get this thing up into the wall, you know. And I'm shocked here. I'm gonna say it. I'm shocked that California built up a wall to prevent the space shuttle from just moving in freely, but yet they all want the borders open in the south. Just gotta say that real quick, you know. It's kind of a hypocritical move, if you ask me, California. Good movie. Space Cowboys. There you go. There you go. Don't worry. They're being perfectly safe about this. They are well trained. Took classes from Ocean Gate. Ah, gotcha. I'm just over here, just shocked and amazed at this. I made a DNA strand. I should have brought the OG people from you mean ULA, the United Launch Alliance, the ULA? Okay, we got a crane moving here. Hey, Jenna. Speaking of Los Angeles, Kelly. Speaking of Los Angeles, this is where this is at, Jenna. This is at the California Science Center. Here's Bragg begins to try to move in Denver. Oh my god, it's been a long day. And speaking of Denver, we've been working with people out in Denver. So in Denver we trust. The IE tonight, not LA. What's the IE? What's the IE? You get a new contract? Inland Empire. Where's that at? I'm gonna look that up. Inland Empire. Oh. Okay. You're over near the mountains, out near the Mojave Desert, I think. 1 hour east of LA. Man, I couldn't imagine, because I assume you live close to Alyssa. I could not imagine trying to drive through LA and then go the whole way inland like that. No, thank you. Speaking of, where is the California Science Center? Where is the California Science Center? That is... Oh, is he over there? Is he over there? Actually, hold on. This is up near you. This is kind of up near you guys, I think. I think this is yeah, this isn't far from at least Alyssa. This is not far whatsoever. Yeah, because there's Hollywood. This is near University of Southern California. Loma Linda. Oh wow. Okay, why do I get like Deepwater Horizon vibes? Does anyone else get Deepwater Horizon vibes here? Like, I get like Shake Hands with Danger, Pinch Point, Send Me to the ER type of vibes whenever I see this stuff. Yeah, it's like right downtown. Yeah, this is where it's at, right off of West Martin Luther King Boulevard and Exposition Boulevard, right? It's right on basically the campus of University of Southern California. Have a good night. Have a good night. Thank you, Jenna. I just saw the bear. Thank you. Thank you. So, I get like Deepwater Horizon vibes. I get like Polly shouldn't touch the ground. Right? Why? He's fucking hanging off of it. What the hell is this guy doing? He was hanging off of it. Like, that's not OSHA whatsoever. You have a step ladder there. He's just like, "Wah! What are you, fucking Axl Rose?" What the hell? Man, this is like an AC/DC concert. What the? Like I said, I get Deepwater Horizon vibes off of this. I get massive Deepwater Horizon vibes off of this, and we all know what happened to Deepwater Horizon. I don't think I gotta reiterate that. Pat, we'll go some UOA safety officers swing bullets right now. Oh my god, making sure if it will hold the weight of the shuttle, just making his weight to be sure. Oh my god. There's no official live stream for this, guys. These are just people with cell phones streaming out to NSF and to BP Company, man. Oh. Slumberjay. Slumberjay. We gonna run that low pressure test. Okay? Now, Mr. Daniels, we're gonna run that low pressure test. Make sure that cement for Slumberjay is good. This is all a bladder effect, Austin. What's up, Brad? What's up? What's up? What's up? Join from the UK. Well, we may be watching a second disaster in the making. We don't quite know. But that's the space shuttle that they're trying to, like, lift up in the weirdest way possible to assemble it. You know, I feel like Schlumberger, for those who Schlumberger, I think that they may actually do a better job than this, you know? Like, that guy's not even in work boots. Look at it. He's in dress shoes. Look. He looked to be in dress shoes. And he's the crane op. That's definitely OSHA certified. I 110% view this as it looks just like Deepwater Horizon. They're making a new museum. What better way to get insurance money than say, yes, we had a space shuttle actually fall into our museum, and we need to get some insurance money. You had a what? Yeah, we had a space shuttle actually fall off. No, I'm gonna stop you right there. What the fuck do you mean a space shuttle fell into your museum? Yeah, well, it was an accident. Were they at least qualified to attach this space shuttle? Well, no, because all the guys who were qualified, they've been in retirement for 8 years. It's exactly how that phone call would go. No joke, this should have been at least supervised by the UOA. You know, the people that have been doing this exact procedure for the past 50 years. Why are you going up again? Why are you going up again, you know? What the hell? Why are they going up again? I thought they ended the shuttle program. Yeah, you know, they did in 2011, they ended it, but, you know, they decided to buy this shuttle and attach it to a makeshift setup here in Los Angeles, California. The space shuttle was in a museum before. They're just going to add the tank and boosters to it. Yeah, they are. I've seen Discovery. I've touched Discovery. That sounds very naughty. I touched Discovery before, and it's amazing, but Mr. Bolt, I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. Like, this is making me want to like go make something to eat. United Rentals. That's perfect, guys. You're telling me Bragg, the company they hired, who is lifting this however heavy piece, doesn't even own a fucking condor nest? They don't even own a condor's nest. They had to rent one. What type of company has to go? If you're going to be saying we're lifting the space shuttle and you have to go rent a goddamn condor's nest? What the hell? I touched Atlantis. I'm lost for words. You have a monkey hanging off of the damn hoist, like a monkey with the wrench, you know. Yep, they were trained by Ocean Gate completely. Like, the Ocean Gate didn't own the mothership, the Polar Prince. Ocean Gate had to go rent one. So I'll be able to see this in the sky tonight. I'm about 30 minutes from. Jazz, go walk up. If you're only 30 minutes, go take an Uber. It's right up in downtown. It's right up in it's right up there in South Downtown. It's at the California Science Center. Go over there. Watch it. Ominous hall cracking noises. A repeat of July 23rd with Ocean Gate. Cool. I am seriously about to go get something to eat here because, you know, this is taking away my time of being a network admin. I still had stuff to do. And I thought this was going to be a fairly quick process, but we got guys who keep going up there looking under the freaking skirt of things. You know, I am at this point of what the absolute F is going on here. I don't get it. You might miss the tip over. Again, guys, California has earthquakes. I don't see any shock absorption to this. Does anyone see any shock absorption to this? No, they cemented it straight into the goddamn ground. I would not be surprised if Bragg somehow made the shuttle implode like Titan. There's no shock absorption. There's no springs. There's no rubber. There's no nothing. If we get an earthquake next week, this thing's falling to the fucking ground. That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen to this. Do they have a goddamn roller on this thing? It looks like he has like a triangle or a square. It looks like they got a roller. What is he doing? What are those? What the hell? And guys, please tell me, under what fucking section of OSHA does it say you can walk under several tens or hundreds of £1,000 piece? Why are they walking under this fucking monstrosity? What in OSHA's name thinks that is okay? Why? What? I'm losing my shit over here. You don't walk they say you don't even walk under a car lift. Why the fuck are you walking under the space shuttle? It's okay, I get the hard hat on. It's exactly what it is. You go throw on a traffic vest and a hard hat and you're fucking God. Why? Why are you walking under this thing? So you make a good point, Austin. I didn't think of that. The hold down post on the SRBs is supposed to flex during launch, the so-called twang motion when the MEs fire. Yeah, and they're just bolted on. It's cemented into the ground and bolted on. Maybe this is what they plan to use for earthquake protection. I mean, but the thing is, the base would need it, I think. The base would need it. I'm just so awestruck at this. I'm so I don't know what to think about this, guys. A chat. Guys, they are under this fucking piece. Why are you under this? Why are you thinking it's okay to look? They're right under this thing. Look at this. Look at that. Look how many people are under this thing. They got a goddamn porta john there. They have a fucking outhouse underneath the... I just picture some dude taking a little hearty shit. And you just hear... Strap! Bam! And he pulled an Elvis and died on a shitter. That's what I picture. That is what I picture. That's what I picture. Why would you put a fucking outhouse underneath of a goddamn space shuttle? What? Come with me and you'll be in a world of OSHA violations. Oh, why? Why? They always say it's better in California. Some dude's gonna die on a shitter. Some dude is gonna die on a shitter. That is my... It's not even my concern, this thing, you know, falling. It's a historical, memorable thing. It's the poor dude who's gonna be in a fucking shitter who can't hold it any longer. And this thing's gonna... 2 shitters! There it is! It's 2 shitters, guys! There's 2 shitters! Talk about a double deuce. 2, not 1! Not 1 shitter! Not 1 guy's gonna die on a shitter. There's gonna be 2 guys on a shitter who dies. Oh my god. Gives a whole new meaning to explosive diarrhea. Gross. Right, Mary? It's not just 1. I was wrong. It wasn't just 1. It was 2. 2 outhouses underneath the space shuttle. How come I didn't see a porta potty underneath the SMEs when it launched? I'm starting to question the shuttle program. It was all fake. We never went to the moon. It hit the firmament. There was a shitter out at the launch pad for the Crew 3 missions, because they actually had the Crew 3 mission out there for hours on end, and they would actually get up out and go take a shit. That's what they would do. 2 for 1. This is an accident waiting to happen. There's 2. You guys can see the 2 outhouses. Why? Oh. Why? I don't. I don't. I just, I don't know, guys. I, I, it's bad enough they're standing under this thing that could fall at any moment. It's also another thing to you know, when you go to the bathroom, you think you're in a safe place. You know, you're not gonna go to the bathroom if you don't feel safe. I, you know, I hope to God OSHA sees this, and I hope they're watching this because we have been lied to. This shuttle is not powered by locks. It's powered by tacos and last night's Mexican food that agree with you, right? I don't know, guys. I just they're going back up again. It looks like they're going back up again in Condor's nest. I just I don't get this, guys. I'm getting annoyed and tired. I just why? Why? That's my question is why. I question this. I question why. It makes no sense to me. Why? Why would you do this? Why? Why would you do this? It's making me hungry is what this is doing. We were hit by progress. Yay, Russian, I want that patch. I'll be back in a minute. There we go. I don't know. They're called popcorners. They call them cinnamon crunch. I got pizza in the oven. You tell shuttle stories. So, this is weird. They taste a little weird. They taste like popcorn on one side, but on the other, they taste like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. My mind doesn't know how to process this taste. The white cheddar popcorns are about... Yeah, Hannah, I would have to say... I saw cinnamon. I got it on the Walmart app. I was like, oh, cool. Hannah's in here, though. Hannah, you missed the shitter explosion we were talking about. You missed a shitter explosion. God damn, that Jebediah up there! We got Jebediah up there! You started watching a new show. Hannah, okay, so not only are they walking under this thing, okay, and they're hanging off like monkeys trying to get the hydraulic lines off of a pulley, but we found out they actually have a outhouse underneath of... Wait a minute. Is this guy just wearing a normal, like a regular ass flight suit? Garrett Eastman. Who is Eastman? Former astronaut. He was on 3 shuttle missions and 2 expeditions. Prehistoric to me. That's what we've been saying, Anna. That is exactly what we've been saying. It's ahead of schedule. Is there a reason why an astronaut is wearing a flight suit out in the middle of California right now? Is there any reason, guys? In fact, hold on. Garrett Eastman, hold on. Hold on. The name sounds familiar. Hold on. I think it was on Mission of Hope. Hold on. He sounds familiar. I think I know him. Hold on. And, yeah, that's him. Yeah, Garrett Eastman. Eastman was on the Mission of Hope, is what it was. Yep, Garrett Eastman. Yep. An ad for Glad. So yeah, Eastman, he was in Mission of Hope when he talked about Columbia exploding. I can't do the cheese in the cinnamon. I can't do it. I can't. I'm waiting for the pizza to get done. Like if they taste like toast, that's one thing, but they don't. I can't. What? Pat, were you hearing this? And I'm not even. I'm not even. I'm not even gonna. No, not doing it. I'm gonna shut up now while I can. Well, according to him, they're ahead of schedule. So, Pavel, you were right. Oh, hold on.
Exactly
Sorry.
the same way, where you lift it with on both sides, swing it under, and lift it up, and then you had to like transport it through.
There you go.
This little
Sorry.
hole, because you know the VAB was
The
designed for the
transmission. He said
Saturn
that
V.
they
And so you
killed
had
the
to put it through the
transmission
same
trying
hole
to
that the
haul
upper
this
stage
shuttle.
and the,
They
I think
killed
command and
the
service module had to
transmission
pass
trying to
through,
haul
and they
this
had to
shuttle.
turn
It blew
and
it
then
out.
snake it through there, and that was
They
really
blew
pretty,
up the transmission
pretty
hauling
nervy
this.
too. So they use exactly that same fixture, and we got it here, and it's doing one more job.
I'd love to see it. It's
Yeah,
like a lot of people I know complain about the space shuttle main engines being used on SLS and like getting thrown in the sea. But no, I look at it like
We're live.
oh, sorry. I look at it like they're getting to do their job one more time.
Yeah.
So it makes me happy. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing I wanted to ask, you said was it the SRBs were in some ways more difficult than this? You made a comment.
Well, the ET, the turtle tank had to thread it straight down in between the SRBs, and that was so you really had just like
What
as you
the
bring
hell?
it down, you have inches to spare. So So that was, and so they actually had to stop. I gave up like about 1 o'clock in the morning. I went home, but they actually kept going until about 7, and then stopped. And I came back to work the next day, and my office is right over here. So I drove right past it, and I was like, it's not in the right spot. It was just dangling from the crane forward of the SRBs.
Oh man.
And so I was like, hey guys, you know, I texted the Science Center folks right away, and I was like, do you know that you got a tank dangling? And they're like, yeah, we gave up at 7 a.m. We're going to try again tonight. So it took like 2 days to get that one done. But so far, so good. Knock on wood.
Yeah, it was a good call. There's actually some wood to knock on.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I have Dust and everybody in my ear, so I can hear you guys talking if you talk. They haven't been. But maybe we have a couple questions.
Sure.
If people want to ask them. But so, like, I'll let them bring some up. But really quick, do you know where we're at chronologically in the lift? Like, are they doing some checkouts on the fixture there?
So so I actually do know what's going on. So I had a big question, which was how do you control it and roll?
Okay.
Because there's no obvious means of doing that. So that fellow that's up on that
that's what I said.
Kind of cherry picker lift right there is hooking up the power to. What I understand is there's up in the
hooking
the
up
coupling that
extension
to
cables.
The crane, there's some kind of
Extension
torsion
cords.
device that prevents it from rolling, and he's actually powering that up so that they can control roll as they bring around over. And then apparently they also have 2 lines with a guy standing on each line, also trying to hold it down. And I hope that they're like some pretty burly
They're
dudes,
holding hydraulic lines.
So there you
They
go.
got
So
guys
like
holding
he's,
hydraulic lines.
done, and hopefully
Where
we'll,
the hell did they
resume the
find
lift
these
here pretty
guys
soon.
at?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Das, do you have any questions for us, or anything you want to add in?
The cables won't
Jack,
even
there's
lock.
no
They have to
desync
have
here,
guys
'cause I
hold them
know that,
together.
we are bringing your feed in remotely, but right now, let's talk about this.
Okay.
Since we're getting sort of the final stack of Endeavour here at the California Science Center, ask Garrett about his first experience going to the pad for his launch on the shuttle and what that's like. Like the vehicle moving, everything being ready.
It'd be
What was
more
your
successful
first
just
please?
arming the
You have it here,
RCS.
Here's a DOS question for you. What was it like, your first experience going to the pad and rolling up to the stack and seeing all that?
So it was just like this because of Endeavour, and on that first one, it's really surreal. I mean, it's like something straight out of the science fiction. You know, you wake up in the morning, you get your crew together, and then you go out there and you wave and you walk in slow motion, and then you get in that Astro van and drive out to the pad, and you look up and you're standing down there. And I don't know if you can tell in your shot, but if you look down there, you can see a fellow in a hard hat at the very bottom. So you get some idea of the scale of this thing, right? And you're standing down there looking up at the shuttle and the whole stack and the launch tower, and it's just gargantuan, you know? And this is this massive beast, this massive rocket ship that's going to blast you off the face of planet Earth. I mean, it's like straight out of sci-fi.
Yeah.
And then you hop in that, you look around at it for a little bit, and then you hop into that elevator, go on up, and now you're standing up there in the gantry and looking down and then looking straight ahead to the white room and all the people in there waiting to put your suit on for you. And it's just you and your crew and the strap-in crew, so just a couple brave individuals, and every sane person is like at least 5 miles away, right? So, because, that, I don't know what we talked about this. I don't know what the SRBs are filled with right now, and if there's anything in the external tank, but at that moment, the external tank is full and the SRBs are full. So this is the amount of chemical energy stored in there is insane. And it's basically just a giant bomb ready to go off. And so you don't want to be hanging around that thing unless you have to, unless you have a good reason to. So you get in and then you wait.
We're going to need to tell Jack that he needs to charge his battery here.
Oh,
Jack,
guys. Oh, my God. Yep. Wow. Pebble goes, oh, for fuck's sake.
bunch
They
of
got one
different
person
people.
handling all the
We just have
cameras.
one guy out there, and it's Jack. So massive thanks to Jack for getting these things. I'm sure he'll get another battery in real quick, but that is all fine. Jack is absolutely an MVP. Uh-oh, we may be getting a feedback here shortly. Stand by. Jack,
That's
we
where,
are getting a feedback
I cut
again,
out.
just so you know.
Hey,
Yeah,
Thunder.
do you have us back?
We got
Yeah,
you
do you
back
have us
now,
back?
Jack. That was a pretty quick battery swap.
Yeah, sorry about that. Also, I'm getting an echo.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Like I can hear.
Also, I'm getting an echo on, like I can hear everything over again, which makes it really hard to pay attention to what I'm saying. It's like a.
There.
There you go. Thank you. You killed it. Where did we lose? Like, where did we lose Garrett?
Oh my God.
Now,
Well,
now I can't
Jack,
hear you
I
at all.
fixed your echo, and now you don't have an echo, but now you should be good to go. We lost Garrett right when he was talking about the tank was fully filled up, and you're getting bored, and there's a lot of chemical energy stored.
Right. When the tank was fully filled, and
Like,
we were talking about the chemical.
He doesn't have an IFB. You gotta tell him what.
Like
oh
sitting
my-
in the white room like that, with like, knowing full well what's just
Yeah,
like
those guys
feet
are really
away.
brave. They don't even get to go for the ride, you know. So yeah, my hats off to them. But yeah, there aren't that many. It's just a minimum crew complement out there, and then they take off, and after they close the hatch and button everything up, and then you just sit there and wait. And then the other thing is, not many people know this, but actually know that whole countdown to 10, 9, 8. You don't actually hear that inside the shuttle.
You just hear like the mission control loop.
Yeah, you're hearing the control loop, you're hearing the launch director's loop, and then you're also hearing calls inside the cockpit that come at a certain cadence. So it's kind of like it's effectively a countdown, because you know when it ends, you know when it ends, what to expect. But things like you hear like 102, 102, like NIT, 3 at 100 when the 3 SSMEs come up, and you're hearing these technical calls, these events that are transpiring, and it's kind of like a countdown. But you never hear anybody count down from 10.
Right.
That's just for the people watching on television.
Do they give you like, and we're at, do they say like T-10, or does somebody call that out, or do you just sort of know?
There's
in
a
the flow?
clock. You got a clock, and then you got a checklist, and you're going through and looking for every step along the way. So you know where you are.
Thunder, right?
But that's after you first have to get all the goes. So you sit there for a long time doing nothing. And then you don't know, like every time we tried to launch a shuttle, there was only like about a 50% chance they were actually going to go on any given day, because the weather could be bad in like
There's also
or
statistical 30% chance you're actually going to
or
live.
something's not working right. There could be
Hate
a
to
million
say
different
it.
things, and especially weather related, winds, and there could be anvil clouds within 10 miles, or all kinds of crazy stuff like
There
that.
could be a hydrogen leak.
Anvil
hydrogen
clouds.
leak.
What the hell are you talking about?
We had a bunch of those for a while.
Anvil clouds.
So it
Where
could be
the
anything.
fuck is a tornado in Florida?
And then you don't know if today is really the day or not until everybody says go, and then you're like, oh wow, we're really all right. This is actually the day. You know?
It's like until those solids light, it's not the day.
Yeah, right. Because even the mains can light, and
Is
you
that
can
a
still
guy
sit
on
up.
top
And
of
that
us?
happened.
What?
Not on my flights, but that has happened. So you can get down to within seconds and think you're going, but not go. So when you actually put window solid lights, then you're going somewhere in a hurry. There's no turning those off or throttling them back. Once they're lit, they're lit.
Right.
And people ask me what was going through my mind at that moment when the solids light, and you know that you're definitely flying today. And the truth is that it was a great sense of relief, because I was thinking, thank goodness I don't have to redo the guest list. Because that's a pain in the ass, man. You got to figure out what, and then if you scrub, then you got like, okay, who's coming back tomorrow?
Yeah.
And like, Aunt so-and-so doesn't want to sit next to Uncle such and such, so don't forget that. And you got to redo the whole seating chart, and it's a big pain, so.
Wow.
A seating
Yeah, I mean,
chart.
speaking from a perspective of a photographer of rockets,
I will be back to go get pizza.
in some ways, a scrub is like, okay, I get a chance to, make sure all my cameras are going to work that much more. On the other hand, it's really taxing. It can be very taxing.
It can be. It can be stressful, like especially for not so much for the crew, a little bit for the crew too, but especially for the families. But I remember, we had some scrubs serve a pretty useful purpose, because a lot of times I think the folks in mission control and launch control and the crew to some extent, but also especially the families. The first time, I was just down last week at the Cape for the Axiom 3 launch.
Nice.
And we had a scrub, right? And then you can see just everybody's all like tense, and then scrub, you know, and that stays with you. Like you come back the next day, and you're just a little more chill. Everybody's a little more chill, and you know, I remember at SpaceX we had, you know, being in mission control after a scrub, and everybody just seemed to be a little more relaxed and focused and less stressed out, and that's actually a good thing for your control team. So in a way, scrubs aren't so bad.
Yeah. I like it. It's a nice optimistic take. Scrubs aren't so bad.
Yeah, not so bad.
Yeah, more practice, more better.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Well, she's coming.
She's coming, indeed.
Hey, Jack, we've got another question over here. I know I'm going to talk over y'all a little bit there, but ask Garrett if there's
we've got a
anything
question.
on
Give me just a
Earth
second.
that he can compare the SRB feeling to. Like when the SRBs kick in and it's time to go, is there a race car or a roller coaster or something like that he's ever felt on Earth? Ask him that for us.
Is there anything you can compare the ignition of the SRB and like what that feels like to like an earthly thing, maybe like a roller coaster or like a very fast car? Like, is it a real kick in the pants, or like how does it?
A real kick in the
definitely
pants.
a big kick in the pants, and you know, you're lying on your back, so you get it through your back, and you feel this little jolt, and then push.
They're talking about
And
sex
it's not
over here.
crazy. I mean,
You feel it through
you're
your
just a
back
little
as
bit
you're
over
laying
1
down,
G
and you're
going up initially, and then of course the G builds exponentially as you burn off with the rocket equation, as you burn off the fuel, you get less mass, same thrust. So
One
the G builds
ton.
and builds, but initially it's just over
Los
1.
Angeles.
And so you're going up and you feel that, and it makes a lot of noise and it shakes. But the initial G is.
So do some girlfriends.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because the
Sorry.
thrust ratio isn't like super crazy or anything. And
Yeah.
It's just so laden with propellant as it sits.
Oh
on
my God.
But at the end, it builds up to 3, and then it plateaus there, and you throttle back and hold it at 3 Gs because of the structural limits of the shuttle. The Dragon goes up to about 4.5, so that's a bit more of a wild ride.
Yeah, I've heard the end of second stage burn on a Dragon can be pretty spicy, which sounds to me. Maybe I'm just stupid because I haven't had the chance to do it, or I wouldn't have like a job necessarily at that point in the flight. But it sounds like
Oh
a
my
really fun
God.
ride.
It is.
I would definitely do it.
I would like to experience that someday. That'd be cool. It's you know, staging on the shuttle was kind of a relief and relaxing because when the SRBs come off, one, you know, you can't help but think a little bit about challenge when you're going through that, and so when those SRBs come off, it's still a relief. But the other thing is that it gets much more smooth. So I was down when I was in Endeavour, I was down on the middeck during launch.
Oh, no kidding! You were on the middeck.
I was on the middeck because I was ISS crew member and EVA crew member, so I didn't have a job to do during launch. So I was just down there, high-fiving Rick Linehan like all the way up, and it was great.
Yes.
We were like strap hangers. We had this like strap we're holding on like on the New York subway, and then the other hand we're like high-fiving the whole, and it was great. But I took on my kneeboard. I wrote like, this is what it's like in first stage, and you can barely read it. It's like a doctor's handwriting. It's like all garbled.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, and then when we got to second stage after the SRBs come off, then I wrote, this is what it's like in second stage, and it's perfectly legible. So it's much more, it's much smoother, and like I say, staging, and plus there's no decel because the SSME stay lit the whole time. So you never get that kind of, 0 G. And
Endeavour is being loaded onto the launch the external fuel tank and all that
Gemini and stuff.
at
That's
the
much more violent.
museum in
I guess I didn't
California.
even think about that, but now that you say that, I
Look at
feel
that
like
condor's
I've probably
nest.
even seen that maybe in the right stuff or something, or even just video of those sorts of launches where it's like, and no G, and then G again.
Yep. Yeah, pretty quick, and you get that kind of whiplash, and
That's why you want tight straps, I guess, to keep you in your seat.
Yeah.
Oh man. So this is just like, you've flown on this vehicle. This is a really special time, having it come back together with a full stack and having it be.
Yeah.
There's obviously there's a bunch more work to do on the building, but
You know what's really cool about this is if you're watching it, I want you to all come back here when you can come in person, because we don't get, like, I've seen plenty of pictures of this with the external tank and the SRBs in here, but in this space, in this building, you get such a sense of the scale of it, and it's even much more different than the launch pad. When we had the launch pad, you had the launch tower next to it, but here it's kind of all enclosed. And standing here, I'm kind of losing. I'm kind of at a loss to describe it exactly. But the fact that it's next to the rest of the structure gives you a better sense of just the scale. And I can't wait to see it all the way in, because it's going to be spectacular.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because a lot of times with rockets, one, you can't really get close to them. Even when you can get close to them. I guess as an astronaut, standing there looking up, it's probably pretty easy to have a sense of scale. But for the most part, it's hard, even when something is massive, just because the distance makes it look. You can tell your mind, like, that's massive, but it's a little thing on the horizon. Mm-hmm. But here it'll be just access, like the cavernous space that it is going to occupy. Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
And they have all kinds of really cool stuff. Like, right here is the beginning of a slide that goes from this level all the way down to the floor.
You're pulling my leg.
I am serious.
No,
that's where these stairs are. That's the slide hole.
You're pulling my leg.
No, come back and see the slide.
Is there going to be a zip line?
We talked about that. I was just talking to Jeff Rudolph, who runs this place, and he said he wanted to put a zip line in. But the problem is that the zip line coming from there straight down to the floor is way too steep, right? You would have to go all the way out to, like, USC's campus.
You'd have to have, like, a series of...
Yeah, maybe if you had a bunch of, like, that might work. But.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I still don't believe there's going to be a slide there.
I'm telling you, slide right there. I should get some from the science here to back me up on this.
That's awesome.
Jack,
very cool. I hope people,
Jack,
like everybody watching, that has the ability to come... Oh, Das, yeah, go ahead.
No, it was me. I was going to let Jack keep talking there, but it's in the renders. Like, there is supposed to be a slide. He is not pulling your leg. You're good to go. Ask him about the patches on his arm. Like, does he have enough?
It does.
Does he have enough patches on his arm there? And ask him to talk about the patches on his arm, Jack.
Das wants to know if you have patches on your arm.
No, because I can still hold it up. I figure a couple more, and I'll start peeling over a little bit.
But tell us about them, though.
Oh, okay.
What do you got?
So actually, this one here at the top, that's Endeavour. That was my first flight in 2008. And then going down from there, these are my two ISS increments, Expedition 16, Expedition 17. And then we got STS 124 on Discovery, brought me home. And then Atlantis 132, my last flight. So, I tell you, it's all about the patches. You know? So there's another neat trick, which is I only launched twice and landed twice, but I flew in all three shuttles, and I got a whole armful of patches on just 2 missions. So, pretty.
You're a savvy patch collector. Yeah, that's a great trick.
It's all about the patches.
All about the patches.
He's an efficient patch collector.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
hey, Jack,
man.
ask Garrett
I
to
can't
tell
tell.
us a little bit about how...
It looks like it's moving
He'll give me a second.
this way a little bit. But I think they still got a guy going back up there. I'm guessing, purely speculation, but I'm guessing that they're having some difficulties trying to power up that
Some difficulties.
Control thing.
Yeah. All right. Well.
So they're having some
okay.
difficulties.
Wait, we have another DOS question. Go ahead, DOS.
We did, Jack. Ask Garrett how he's involved with California Science Center there. Like, he's out there supporting them tonight. What other sorts of things does he do with the Science Center? When he gets a chance, ask that to him, please.
You got a sec?
Ken needs to go to the roof of the live stream.
Oh, he does? Okay. Can I ask you just a quick question? So, one, verify. This is come here. Get on camera.
Here.
This is Ken Phillips. I'll repeat. He's with the Science Center. He's a
I
very,
can
very
give
smart guy.
Let me give you a mic.
And he's got to go, so we can't.
Let me just pin that right there.
Okay.
Ask your question.
Come here in the light. So, right. So, question is, first of all, help back me up here. The slide starts right here, right?
The slide starts right here. Yes, it does.
Right there, slide starts. We're going right from there,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a heck of a ride, right?
It's going to be a good ride.
A second, what's going on?
Okay, so what's going on? We're mating or trying to make the.
Allison just like is Dude, that's the second time that guy walked away with a shot. We're live here. So, Allison, this is Al. Come here, Allison.
Here we go.
Because she just made a face because
I did.
Because Ken's got to go,
Ken's gotta go.
she's responsible, and she's like, don't ask a long question. So real quick, what, are they having trouble powering up the the Spitzer valve thing there?
Yeah, it's the warp drive generator that's giving us some difficulty. You know that.
'Cause I saw the guy go up there and then he backed away and then
They have
went back.
issues.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
That's not usually not a good sign.
No, that was a new guy. We fired that guy.
You fired
the
that
new
guy?
guy's coming. No, what's happening here is we're mating the orbiter, Endeavour, okay, which you flew in.
Yes, yeah.
I love how she's trying to pretend there's no issues. She's definitely from NASA.
I didn't come back with it.
That's right. You left it, didn't you?
We have no issue.
Walk the
So we're
plank.
going to mate it.
Yes.
Lift it over what we did, we rotated it around the axis, the vertical axis, we're talking about 17 degrees. And that lets it clear the Geary building better. And it
Okay.
lets it do a vertical lift. And when they get in, you see how the scaffolding goes into the corner?
Yes.
And you look at the scaffolding for the elevator? Okay. They don't know whether they can
Control it
we don't know whether they can thread the needle, so they may have it come past the center of the stack.
towards us. And
So
then move
they're
back.
Slide
winging this.
the wing back into the
I
corner.
see.
We don't know. They'll call that.
They're
when we
winging
get to
this.
that shot.
So they don't know? They're going to make it up as they go along?
Yeah, that's how we always do these things.
Seriously.
From day one.
You guys just hear that?
All right, you got to go.
Okay, gotta go. Thank you.
Get that
Did you
back.
guys just hear that they have no actual plan?
Already talked about the slide?
Yeah.
I didn't
me.
believe
He didn't
him.
believe
The
me.
problem was I didn't.
Did you
believe
just
him
hear
about
that?
the side.
I need to call in some authorities.
Yeah. Start in a tube in the dark, orange glow, double sonic boom like you're re-entering the atmosphere, and then an S curve like it's the landing path of the shuttle burning off the fuel. It's going to be amazing. Then you land at the base of Endeavour.
I can't wait to ride it. I'm gonna scream like a kid the entire time.
Okay.
Drone shoots. Ken, stop making stuff up. You're curator here. You can't make stuff up.
Deliver it with authority, right?
That's true. That's true.
So typical NASA spaceflight stream, no rails. Thank you for bringing him in.
Yeah, sure.
So Das was asking me what sort of things do you do here for the museum?
So odds and ends. So I mean, it goes all the way back. I remember when Endeavour first showed up. It did a tour of all of California. So they flew around Northern California, Golden Gate Bridge, got some great shots of that, and then they parked. They came down to Edwards Air Force Base, Dryden at the time, and now Armstrong Flight Center, and it was parked there overnight. And the president, who's around here somewhere, Jeff Rudolph of the Science Center, had to be there to be part of the event when it was going to overnight over there. Right. But then he had to come back here, and like in the middle of rush hour traffic, and getting from Lancaster
Hello.
down into the center of
What up,
Los
what up?
Angeles in the middle of rush hour, he was never going to make it.
Can you hear me?
So I said, hey Jeff, I got an airplane.
I can.
So
1 second, trying to figure out what's going on here.
Permission to land at Edwards Air
Yeah.
Force Base.
Change some audio
I'll
settings
fly up
here.
there, and then I'll fly you back. No traffic, no problem. We'll make it easy. And so that was like my first.
Okay, hold on.
First time I really
Okay, there you go. Talk now.
The team here, we flew up there, saw Endeavour.
One sec.
Back at the 747
There you are.
up at Edwards, and then came
So,
back.
did you hear what
Yeah,
he
worked out.
said?
And
That they're
ever
winging
since
this?
then, I've just been helping out from time to time, doing events here at the Science Center.
Hopefully it works.
Helping doing some.
Okay, there you are.
Because you have to pay for all this.
Yeah.
And
So
Actually,
the
before-
curator of this entire thing just said that they're winging this.
Watching a can comes out here to see this.
That they have no actual plan
Yeah.
on how to move this into place.
California Science Center. Please do because it's
Yeah, you know what? I am
I can't even imagine.
I am not surprised at all.
Where you get to see
No.
something like this and get up close and personal with ride us.
I'm not either. I mean,
so that's gonna be huge.
Garrett's a cool guy. Garrett Eastman, he's a very, very nice guy. But because he even goes, oh, they have issues, and then the one curator goes, oh no, there's nothing wrong, and he goes, no, they're having issues. I know this process. They can't get the generator started to actually do the swivel for the roll.
I have family or anybody in town, I always recommend.
Jeez. The fact that it's a separate component in general
Like there's so much cool stuff.
is
They're gonna have
it's scary.
to the shuttle.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's up. We've already removed part of that launch vessel. They have to do this. They can't just set it back down on the ground. They can't.
A SpaceX Dragon. There's going to be a
Yeah, they're pretty much committed to this.
there's going to be countless other aircraft and spacecraft.
Literally winging it. It makes no sense to me why they're winging this.
Dragon. So I mean, it's ridiculous. It's going to be really fantastic.
That's really amazing.
I mean, obviously Endeavor's a centerpiece, but it's not the only thing.
It's like the crown jewel.
That's a crown jewel.
Right. But all the other things.
Provided they don't drop it, in which case.
Hey!
I hear myself, by the way.
Oh, do you?
I'm not even a superstitious person, but.
Well, here then. Keep talking.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Well, we can keep hanging out and chatting as long as you want.
Okay, you good now?
You probably have like if you have other stuff you want to do, but I can also ask for another question.
You should
have anything that
you should already be.
that you want to hit.
You should be.
Something
Yeah.
I miss things in another. Also, yeah, feel free to drag
Yeah,
somebody
you're
out.
definitely going out.
I'll pin a mic on them.
Who's here that would...
Try talking.
I'm looking for it.
While y'all
Yep.
are looking, we definitely want to be respectful of Garrett's
Yeah, you're on.
You were mentioning who's paying for it. The Ocean, Air and Space Center. So
The mysterious Pavel, aka Ricci?
anyway,
Is that the Discord name there?
Another question.
Orisai.
Do you have it?
I always say Ricci.
Or
Orisai.
Make the rounds and go find somebody to come over. We can cover.
Gotcha. So the astronaut even made a joke about if they don't drop it.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to make the rounds, and see if there's someone that can chit chat with us, sure. But if you want to,
No.
we can too. We can like take 5 and they'll cut to a different
take 5
cam.
and we'll say cut to a different cam.
Cool.
And I'm gonna go.
Who
we
owns
got good
this?
Cookies downstairs.
You have good cookies downstairs?
Yeah, chocolate chip.
If only there was a slide that we could take.
I know.
All right. Well,
There will be.
once again, thank you so much. We can keep
okay.
hanging out, but in case we don't, this is really cool. So thanks.
My pleasure, Jack.
All right. We'll throw it back to you guys, and maybe go get a cookie.
See you, Das.
Okay, so they officially do not own it
All right, folks,
any longer.
A little off the rails with the stream, but we'll go back. This is back to the museum's feed here. Let's give them some time so that Garrett can go around. Definitely think we can get Garrett back over here onto the stream, but want to give him some time to go and see if he can't find.
Yeah, and I mean, I
talk to.
understand heavy lifting and stuff like that.
What's going on?
I
He's gonna be out with a hard
I don't
back,
even
and
know
that's
how
good.
you
Let's go over
you
to
could
Garrett.
even shore
And
this
he's
for
like,
any
no, but come over
any
here. They
way.
Get a mic on him and they ask him the questions. What a good bunch of people out there. It really is cool that they are sharing this with us, and they gave us this access. Garrett's out there hanging with us. Jack's got some camera set up. The stream you're seeing right now is from the actual museum there. That view, it's going to be swinging towards Jack and Garrett.
Yeah.
And we'll see if Garrett doesn't find another victim. He was scanning the room for victims to bring onto the live stream. And talk about all the
No,
cool stuff that's
you know,
out there.
because there's so much that could go wrong here.
Science Center. Now, I know we had Chris here a little while ago, but I do think that Chris might have been needing to head off to sleep.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, Chris, you're still here.
No, I couldn't. Well, I was like, I can't miss this interview with Garrett.
I'm not understanding what the issue is here. You know, and they wanted to do it at nighttime here. It's already midnight there. It's going on nearly midnight there, and they're nowhere near even done with this.
For hopping on there and helping us set this up as well. He was on the show, the museum show. Him and Mike Massimino were on the NSF Live doing their Two Funny Astronauts Do the News bit the other day. If y'all haven't seen that stream, we've got it here on the channel where we literally just handed over.
They do. It was Endeavour. The last launch of Endeavour was at nighttime, and all this stuff. The issue is, I think that Los Angeles knew this would draw a big crowd, and so they were like, well, we can just stick them over on to the nighttime. That way it's not as bad. People got work, you know, the next day.
He basically got kicked off the crew. On STS-123 with Endeavour, he launched with Endeavour.
Yeah.
He basically for the exhibition on the ISS.
Like permitting.
An ISSA, which means he was like a crew rotation. And that was back in the days where the shuttle that launched him then departed.
Yeah.
Him. So he might have.
Well, look, everyone's just standing around here because they can't get that. They can't get that thing enabled.
Fly away.
The thing that's supposed to help move this.
It's one of the most impressive vehicles to fly away from the ISS because it usually do a full spin around the space station, and it did a salute with the SSMRS with its robotic arm.
Yeah.
So I want to see when Garrett comes back, asking what he got to see as Endeavour was departing, leaving him on ISS with his other crew members departing away without him. Because that would be cool to ask. I've never heard an astronaut talk about that before, ironically, and I would have heard about it before.
And yeah, and there's definitely not even a safety line. You know, this thing is literally being held on by that one cable.
Leaving the ISS.
Even
that is a great point. And,
even NASA, the VAB had 2 or 3, you know, per lift.
I just made a note of that in our channel so we can ask him that question. That's a great point. Like, imagine seeing your ride to the space station pull away and like leave you there. I feel bad when like my mom would leave me at school or whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the space shuttle leaving you on the space station. So, Jack, tripod?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What's up,
We're
Tabitha?
watching another camera there. We're still waiting for them. It looked like they were troubleshooting that torsion thing where the engineer said they were, or I guess the museum person said they were going to turn the shuttle a little bit to get it. It's
Yeah, not
like
this
the
makeshift
VAB, right, Chris? Where they
museum thing in Los Angeles.
The VAB was 4 bays. Wastelands. It's still there.
It's still there.
And you're able to hear the
4 high
stream
bays,
through Discord, right?
They basically roll the orbiter in into the middle.
Cool.
Of the VAB,
Okay.
which is called
So
a
my
transport.
audio is set up right.
And that's an impressive, like, gangway area where vehicles to this day, including SLS core stage, are rolled into the VAB. There we go. Wonderful picture. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's where it'd be lifted up, and
what's
the
up?
right-hand side of this photograph, you'd see the spectacles being moved across.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
Very
showing it now.
small
Yeah, look.
hatchway inside of the high bay, and then brought down. You can actually see the crane.
Oh,
there.
me
See
myself.
the crane
Okay, but
halfway
yeah,
up?
it's better
Yep.
tomorrow. Hello.
Yep.
Welcome
The
to
yellow cranes,
YouTube.
Yep, halfway up, and also right on the roof, on the top part. Those are the 2
I-
cranes used.
Like
at
you
the
said,
VAB.
and I even said it too. Why did they not get
UOA
UOA in here?
You can see the gaps inside. Of
Why
the
did they not get
transfer aisle
UOA?
where the orbiter would be squeezed through? It was quite a tight squeeze. I just remember that.
Yep.
Ironically, just now, tight squeeze to bring them through to the high bay, then brought back down on top. Basically in parallel with the ET as it was brought down for the mate.
These are Max's photos of inside of the VAB, by the way. He got the opportunity to go on top of the
UOA is now all on their Atlas side. You know, the generation of the shuttle and previous are gone. You know, they have retired, they're gone, and even the astronaut you just saw, Garrett Reisman, Garrett, his last flight was STS-132.
We snuck out to y'all. We didn't really sneak it out. He had permission to do it. I mean, it's not like we snuck the camera. But this is Max's photo of that. From I don't know if
That's
Jack
why,
moved
like, they
the
had to train a
camera
whole
little
new
bit
generation
or
on the
not,
Voyager
but
stuff and all the old
I think
satellites
we see
because
more-
those
is
guys
the
are
dark
on,
crane
you know?
now? Are we seeing more of the shuttle? Are we not? Is it an optical illusion or the crane has just moved in there and so I feel like we see more of it? Actually, don't know the answer there, but
Yeah.
in any event. Chris, what do you want to do? Do you want to? You were telling shuttle stories.
Yes.
We
They
John
did
and
have an
Garrett,
issue
you
with
need
the
to take
one,
off.
but they
What
got
do
it
you
back.
need to do?
No.
They always have an issue, but then they get it back, you know?
Off my shuttle stories.
Okay.
I'd feel bad if I said I'm going to bail and then wake up in a cold sweat going, I should have finished with STS-134.
I had
Why
an
did I go
opportunity.
to STS-134? I think, Kevin, if I can preempt you, we'll go to STS-130.
I get scared doing firmware flash updates on anything. I get scared doing it. Yeah, I have bricked radios in the past. Thank you, Motorola. Because of it, you know, because the cable shifts one way. Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, with the Deep Space Network though, because a lot of people don't understand that when that data is being sent out, it's not just coming from one satellite site. They got like as many as they can for Voyager, because Voyager takes precedence over anything else at the end of the day.
Not just Earth, but also arriving and departing vehicles. They called them visiting vehicles. So if we can get STS-130 up, we can look through it. There we go. That's STS-134. Never mind. We can move on to that mission if we want to. That is the patch there of STS-134, which was the final mission of Endeavour.
Yeah.
We'll move on to 134. That actually was quite an important.
Yeah, because the beamforming you can definitely be done.
That took the AMS, which was
and that is how it's preferred.
Today. It's no longer working. I don't believe. Chat, if anyone in the science community there know if the AMS.
What was the back? What was the back side of this this thing for?
Many years now. It obviously is still there, but it's just incredible.
On launch, on the actual launch complex, what's that back thing for from the actual tower?
Payloads are different color, especially with some of those like SS-134. While we look at this beautiful picture, this is
yeah, it was it looked almost as if like the shuttle would actually sit inside of it.
I think it was Nathan Moore. I think it was Nathan Moore. It was one of our photographs. I don't know for a fact.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah,
very interesting. I don't think anyone knows about AMS. Anyone in chat? Does anyone know what? I'm going to find out myself, in fact, because it's something I'd like to know my own self. But you can see two things on that photograph there. That's impressive thing to talk about as well. It's called the tail service masts. Those two grey massive boxes either side of the SSMEs there. That is where they house the umbilicals, which attach to the side of the orbiter MPS, the propulsion system, and that provides electrical fluids and fuel the vehicle. That's where it all flowed through the orbiter into the external tank from there. And that is the version from shuttle of what you see at Starbase.
Okay.
Disconnect. That is the same thing.
That makes perfect sense then.
Side, one for oxygen and one for liquid hydrogen. The ship disconnect on the Starbase one is for the ship side of things. So that's how it's different. It's all on the base with Space Shuttle. That's a wonderful photograph there.
Gotcha.
Very, very clean photograph of what you can see there.
You know, it is a shame. So, how are they going to get this commercial hab up, this commercial habitat to the ISS in a couple years? How are they going to do that?
From a WB-57. Again, that's been involved with Starship, as we know. But that is basically an important camera. It's not for photographs. It is for tracking purposes. And it is for basically anything goes wrong, they'll have some photographs from that altitude, the high ascent altitude. There was, back in the days of Dig, anyone remember that? The old social media platforms, way before Reddit days and stuff like that. There was people saying that there was photographs launched from the ISS. And it wasn't. It was from the high altitude WB-57 planes that took the photographs of the launch. Again, on purpose for photographic reasons, because they wanted to make sure that everything looked great from that photography angle. And that is one of the photographs in question there. There we go. Arriving at the ISS. This was something after Columbia. They installed a...
Yeah, because it's the CSM. I'm pretty sure it is the CSM.
It included the RPM, which is called...
It's the Axiom Station.
Rendezvous maneuver, where basically the orbiter would arrive over the space station. It would then do a full 360-degree flip under the ISS, so that at the halfway point the belly was showing to photographers on the ISS.
There's actually a wait
to document the TPS on the belly to make sure
they're building a new station.
On flight day 2, they would take
they're building a new station. Look up the Axiom Station. AX. Yeah, Hab 1, Hab 2, and then they add in the research and manufacturing, then the power thermal module, which is a giant, it looks like a giant flower.
To check the belly of the orbiter for any damage on the TPS. And that's just before that photograph there. You can see they're just lining up for the actual rotation. We've got a split screen on the left-hand side there, so we get some live views at the same time. That's Endeavour landing on STS-134. That was the penultimate landing for the Space Shuttle program, the last one for Endeavour. Bittersweet moments.
I see that. Yeah, I just saw the photo here from space.com.
Let's face it, on a serious note, these were missions that were extended, in fact, because they were going to retire sooner than this, but they extended it by a couple of missions to allow for the completion of the ISS and make sure it was stocked up. Literally, was logistics stocked up at the end of the final missions for the Space Shuttle program. In fact, Atlantis, STS-135, was basically a big cargo mission. It was like a big CRS mission with a lot of payload on board. And
slowly up,
they set the stage for the new era, which was commercial crew, commercial resupply, all those Dragon missions, the Cygnus missions, the ATV with the European Space Agency, the HTV with JAXA. All those cargo missions had to make up for the loss of the Space Shuttle's upmass. And of course, the downmass was never recovered, but that's something where, because I'm being told by Keith that AMS2 is operational still. That is amazing. After all these years.
So we'd be looking primarily right now at Falcon Heavy, most likely Falcon Heavy, and
not as many years
Atlas.
now, because we're talking about it being around what,
which is SpaceX, ULA.
It may be like a Curiosity on Mars situation where, and you find all these robotic missions to Mars tend to last longer than they plan.
Here's the issue, though.
It's always a bonus, but it's
when it comes to commercial space flight like this, I feel like we're gonna possibly run into another Ocean Gate situation. People get stuck up there in space, can't get back, or they're lost in space, you know. And then all of a sudden, commercial space flight's gonna take an immediate hold.
Endeavour.
I'm back here with you, Chris. I hopped over to help Jack out real quick, and I am back in comms now.
Oh, sorry, because I was going to start with STS-1 and just go through them until you came back.
Just go through every STS until you go through.
It's now 11 a.m. in the morning. We're up to STS-57.
I think we'll pace ourselves on that. You don't have to do them all tonight. But just to communicate the plan real quick, Jack and Garrett do plan to be back. They're taking a little bit of a break, and we're going to try to take some more questions from them, or I guess from us, as they're over there. But Chris, thank you so much for holding it down while I hopped over to that other channel. That's one of the things we do, folks that are watching. Like, we are such
Here's
a
the
small
issue.
Team. I mean, I guess
like the ocean is just like space. There's no oversight to it. No one owns either one. So they are these people, you know. Look at the whole astrobotics thing shit to the moon. Who do you get permission to something to the moon? No one. What are they going to do, stop you?
Talking to Garrett, and he's got an AirPod in, and we're just going to ask Jack a question, and Garrett's going to grab somebody by the collar and drag them onto the camera like we were such a small team. And I hope what we sometimes lack in polish, we make up for in excitement and interesting content for y'all. We're not trying to sit here being too stick in the mud. We just like to have fun, and we like to share this sort of stuff with y'all. So hope it's working out for you. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us.
And even then, Chris, even if you were to send something up and it takes out, you know, satellites, what are you going to do?
Stuff we're going to present
you know?
Tonight. This is literally just Chris grabbed some of his favorite images of Shuttle Endeavour and is just talking to you off the top of his head about Shuttle Endeavour. Like, it's not scripted. We'd have a team of writers come up with this content that we're going to cover tonight, right, Chris?
That's correct, but the fun thing is, if I had some sleep rather than the 1 hour that I got,
no.
Space Force.
I want to ask chat.
It's part Space Force, isn't it?
Before, but one day, when there's not a lot going on, and we've got like
no, because Space Force handles all launches.
Like that, just for, well, I don't need an excuse.
That's why they built. That's why, if you noticed, it's no longer. So if you look, it's actually Cape Canaveral Space Force Base.
Not that many people in chat right now because it's a silly time.
And they handle all the launches. So I'm thinking there's something between that and then the planetary defense. Because,
this is like
oh my God, are they trying to freaking jumpstart this a second time?
People in chat have green names. They're part of the membership program. Every now and then we see somebody that's got a green name. Everybody that's joining us, thank y'all for hanging out with us. But that stream, Chris, I think we should definitely get that stream done one day. I still want.
That's what I said. I said it's impossible for us to even get past the Van Kuiper belt. The Van Allen belts. We can't even get past there. Have you seen the amount of satellites that are out there?
No, we don't have to.
Well, I'm sorry, it's going to happen because when those doors open at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Center, I was going to. I mean, imagining that, but I'm imagining now this facility in California.
Yep.
I think it won't be tears; it'll be more gasps and open mouths. So, because it just looks. I didn't know it was this good. I'll be honest with you. I've seen designs for this. I knew what the plan was,
exactly. And
that first shot we got from Jack's wide camera. The size of the facility shocked me. I did not expect that. So
because the amount of satellites that are there, we already probably have a very narrow window. And you know, I'm not picking sides here, but the FCC just told fucking Jeff Bezos he's allowed to launch 3,400 plus satellites within the next 5 years.
The fact that it
Why?
got
For
to the end of its
Project Kuiper.
lifetime with 3 orbiters retired after the issues they had is a testament to not only the shuttles but their
Exactly.
workforce. So
They don't.
I combine the whole thing together because I think it's important to respect that they fought back. There was a saying called "Finish Strong." They had T-shirts on it. Every time you saw an orbital go or an external arrive, all the workers had on the back of their T-shirts "Finish Strong," and they did. Yeah.
Yep. Like Aaron.
It's definitely something we got to work out. Now, this is going to take a couple years because this is a render of what the building is supposed to be like, right? But they are installing the shuttle on the stack right now, and then they're going to build the rest of the building around it. Because think about it, like the VAB, it had the huge doors, and it was built to have the Saturn V rockets roll out, and the shuttle could fit too, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
But here, they're not going to build a miniature VAB in California. They're going to install the shuttle stack in its flight configuration, the vertical stack configuration, and then finish the building around it. So they're still a couple years away from that building being open. I think that's a render of the inside of the building there, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the issue.
It's going to be a couple years.
The shuttle could go up and get space debris. It was able to launch a Hubble. We don't have anything that can go do that now.
Get to different parts. Is that like a glass floor at the top, Chris? Above the shuttle, like where you could go and look down through. Is that what that's supposed to be?
I didn't want to interrupt you, but there's 2 versions there. One which looks like the observation tower is almost like a version of the launch tower, the fixed service structure.
It's a glass floor look.
I want to go.
Yeah.
I think there was maybe an earlier one in there where it was like painted red and it looked like the red.
Yeah,
DOD is what killed Columbia. At the end of the day, they wouldn't let them use a camera to see the actual damage, you know? And Challenger, DOD is what killed Challenger. Oh, well, we told the DOD that we'd be able to launch one a week, and then it's going 2 months and not a launch. DOD was going to cancel. Nope, we're pulling your funding. You know? You know, and the issue is back then they used astronauts as political pawns.
Amazing. I cannot wait until it's finished. And that is something that we need to go and see. I would love to go and see this with you out there, Chris. We're just going to do a field trip one day.
Yeah, we're going to have to. I mean, Chat's insisting we do it. So
yeah, they are.
It's been approved. It's been approved and stamped.
Chat would be paying for it, so they better approve it. Like, we don't get to pay for it ourselves. Jack, you live there. We're going to crash on your couch when we come to LA, like... Right.
I was gonna make a joke about you meeting Laika, but you already met her. And
that how about the 1.5 foot long gaping hole in the left aft wing? And when you look at it, they say, "Oh, well, we've known about that for a couple other flights. You know, it's just foam that hits."
I think where we're getting more and more orbiter, like that one crane. Or that's not the crane. That's the lifting jig, I guess, that we see rotating around there.
Fixture.
Yeah, you know, and these fucking idiots can't even get this thing.
No kidding, that's rotating around. Hey, real quick, I know I haven't done this yet because this has been such like a whirlwind stream, folks. But some quick thanks to folks that have been gifting some memberships. RC Horseman.
I'm at this point here. I'm just like, you gotta be absolutely kidding me. We're gonna turn down NASA space flight there. You know, at the end of the day, what? I was like, what? But yeah, you know, I mean, at the end here, have you seen AXPT, which is the actual full part of the Axiom space hab that they're trying to work on? You do realize that